All right. Okay, I have more space here in this house, so I think you guys can see me. Okay, we're gonna move, we're gonna flow, we're gonna warm up we're gonna do full body, total body today. We'll figure out what that looks like, but we're gonna do full body, what I call like, you know how you have to get your car tuned up every 3,000 miles, get the oil changed, you know, so everything's running smoothly. I feel like that's what we're gonna do today. We're just gonna lubricate and get your 3,000 mile checkup or 3,000 mile maintenance on your body, right? Kind of at the beginning of every year, we do the 108 sun salutations to, reset the body for the year. But then we have to have those like every quarterly, we got to reset the body. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go. It's a little chilly. I guess the air conditioning is blowing because I'm not in my backyard office. I'm in an Airbnb house today. So let's just go ahead and get moving. We'll start in all fours and just kind of warming up the wrists and kind of just rock back and forward to warm up, just kind of the movement. Maybe you circle to just kind of warm up the different joints, especially the wrists, because we're going to be, obviously in yoga, we're on our wrists a lot as well. Maybe you flip the palms so the palms face up and you walk back and forth. Probably find that your forearm is very tight. Oof. Oof. Open and close the fists to kind of get that blood moving. And then come into all fours again, and we'll come into down dog as well. And just kind of start just moving. So today's theme is just about moving and lubricating the joints. And when I came here, I was visiting my mother-in-law, and said that she had started taking turmeric, like liquid turmeric. I mean, turmeric is known for thousands of years as an anti-inflammatory, but she said that as soon as she started taking the turmeric, the next day, the joints and everything just, when you wake up in the morning, you're stiff, and it takes a while to wake up, and obviously as you get older, stuff gets, more stiff and harder to awake in the morning. And she said like a little spoonful of turmeric every day, instantly, like you could feel the difference. So I'm definitely gonna have to try that. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Oh, this is what 10 days of no yoga does. It's super tight. Right foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling, come on up. And close the pose. I'm gonna move the yoga mat a little bit further away from the wall because I just started smacking the wall. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step it back. Lower down knees, chest, chin. Roll the shoulders back and down. Reach the arms behind you. Locust pose. Reach the arms and float the chest up. Come back down. Come into all fours. And come into child's pose. I have no idea where we are in the moon cycle. Usually sometimes we do moon salutations to time it with the full moon. I have no idea where we are in the moon cycle. Come into all fours, touch the toes, lift the hips down, facing dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And close the pose. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Just hang forward, forward fold. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Lower down knees, chest, chin. Roll the shoulders back and down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Use your mid-back to draw your shoulder blades away from your ears. So I'm just going to call it the anti-shrug, right? Instead of like, talking about the low trapezius muscles and making sure you're not shrugging your shoulders. Tuck the toes, lift the hips down, facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Give it a moment to open up the hips. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. Then close the pose. Inhale. Big inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back, high plank. So anti-shrug is a whole lot easier to say than like right? That's the whole, use your low trap muscle, squeeze the shoulder blade, actually draw the shoulder blades down, squeeze the tennis balls underneath your armpit. That's a lot to say. We're just going to call it the anti-shrug, right, of our shoulders, right? If we shrug our shoulders, we disconnect our serratus. If we anti-shrug, lower the knees down, knees, chest, chin, cobra. So cobra, we don't want to collapse our back or shorten our low back. We want to posterior pelvic tilt, press the pelvis into the mat, and then use your mid-back muscles, that's your low traps, your mid-back muscles to lift, keeping the tops of the toenails down. And come on down, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it, weight forward, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling all the way back, floating arms up towards the sky. Oh. Hands behind the head. Press the elbows back. Yeah, press the elbows back. Like pull into the occipital lobe, like the two bony parts of the bottom of your skull, like you're trying to lift. Right, so posterior pelvic tilt, sternum up towards the sky, right, not back, sternum up towards the sky, posterior pelvic tilt. That allows you to go back deeper. Press the elbows back behind you and neutralize through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. I want to push the chair back a little bit more. Whoops. Let's see if that gets me into the picture a little bit better. It happens when you have more space. There we go. There we go. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands down. Step it back, high plank. And a shrug. Those things, we're just going to call it the anti-shrug. Right, squeezing the tennis balls underneath your armpit. Engaging through your mid-back serratus, so press into the heel of the hand. Posterior pelvic tilt, forward, lower down, chaturanga, inhaling, up dog. So posterior pelvic tilt, anti-shrug, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky, swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Runner's lunge twist. So left hand down. Oof. Press the back, so take your right thumb, take your thumb on your right hand. Find the crease behind the knee, press that forward, and then twist. Find length in your left rib cage. Reach the arm up towards the sky. Press down onto your left toe. Yes, press the right knee into your left elbow. And big circles for 1, 3, 2, and 1. Plant the right hand down. Runner's lunge, shift the hips forward, look up. Exhale, lift the hips. We're going to straighten out both legs into a pyramid. Shifting the hips back. Pull the right hip back. Shift the weight forward to a runner's lunge. Look up. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten out both legs. So we're transitioning from runner's lunge to pyramid pose. And it's just amazing how the body, like 10 days without doing yoga, like my body felt not good. Runner's lunge, look up. Like, because I've been working and we have both kids and we don't have our nanny with us and everything's different, so they don't have school. And press the back pyramid, right? So like, what's the first thing to go? Like any kind of working out. Then runner's lunge, plant the hands down, step it back, high plank. Lower down, inhaling, up dog, posterior pelvic tilt, anti-shrug. And then press it back downward facing dog, anterior pelvic tilt, anterior pelvic tilt. And can you really, anterior pelvic tilt, really get your mid-back involved? Anti-shrug, anti-shrug. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Left foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. Look up and really allow your hips to open. Really So stomp into your right toe and press the right heel back. Yeah. So right hand down, left thumb behind the left knee crease. Presses it forward. And then from here, twist, twist, twist. Stomp into that big right toe. Lengthen through your right rib cage. Big arm circles. For 3, go slow. Go slow, go slow. We're like taking the brush and we're trying to scrape all of the sticky cobweb stuff in our ball and socket joint. We want to clean it. So we got to go slow to make sure we get it all. And plant the left hand down, runner's lunge, look up. Pyramid pose. So this is an anterior pelvic tilt on one side. So on the left side, it's an anterior pelvic tilt. All right, you can't really do the anterior pelvic tilt on your right side. So it's like your left side is an anterior pelvic tilt, your right side is probably neutral, maybe. Maybe runner's lunge. Look up. And when you look up, how the right leg wants to just be lazy. So when you're in a runner's lunge, we want to make sure that we're pressing our right heel back, right? So not back like this, but the heel is still pressing forward. The ball of the foot, you're still stacked over the ball of the foot, but you're strong and straight in the back leg. You can feel your quad firing now. And then pyramid pose. So I can tell you by so we came up here, we started driving on Saturday, we arrived on Sunday morning in runner's lunge. They slept the whole way, 14 hours, 14, 15 hours, and they were only awake for the last 2. So Kiki was awake for the last 1, and Kaiden was awake for the last 2 hours. And it was like 6:37 when they woke up, so that was actually pretty good. We got here at 7:30 in the morning. And then lift the hips, pyramid pose. So that wasn't too bad. But then I had to work this week. I worked like 3 days, 4 days this week with no yoga, no working out, nothing. By like Thursday, my low back was stiff, like super stiff. You know, where it was just like hard to just, I could definitely feel it. Runner's lunge. And look up. And then press the hips back, pyramid pose. Right, so if I were only to do yoga Saturday, if I only did yoga once a week and it was just Saturday here, it's more like a barely maintaining, right? Because you have to kind of undo all of the stuff that happens to your body. Plant the hands down, step it back, high plank. Anti-shrug. Posterior pelvic tilt. Lower down, inhale, dog. Posterior pelvic tilt in your up dog. Tuck the toes, press it back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Peekaboo underneath your arm, left foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Anterior pelvic tilt. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. Then close the pose. Inhale. Exhale, chair pose. Sun salutation B. Chair pose. Tuck the tailbone, lift the sternum. So it's really about finding your sternum lifting up to the sky, not back bend. Right? We're going to lift up to the sky, posterior pelvic tilt. I think that's going to be our theme too. Posterior pelvic tilt, lifting sternum up towards the sky. And forward fold. Anterior pelvic tilt. Can you get your rib cage close to your thigh bone? Anterior pelvic tilt. Lift the sit bones up towards the sky. We're reaching the sternum forward, not the crown of the head forward. So we get that more compression. Inhaling halfway up, exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Lower down, anti-shrug, lower down. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Come on up, crescent lunge. Woo. Press that back heel forward. Inhale, exhale. So posterior pelvic tilt, reach the sternum towards the sky. See how that changes the pose, how it feels, the body feels. Posterior pelvic tilt, the sternum out towards the sky. So you find length, you're not squishing your low back. Neutralize through the spine. Shift the weight forward into a warrior three. Pull the belly in. So posterior pelvic tilt brings your left knee in towards the chest. So crossing the shin bone, we're going to arch. Posterior pelvic tilt. So keep sending your shin bone forward. Posterior pelvic tilt, sternum up towards the sky. Maybe you toss the right arm overhead to continue the line of energy. Back, back, back. Extend the left leg out. Here, I'll scoot back a little. I realize I'm like coming out of frame. Here we go. Extend the left leg forward. In Hasta Padangusthasana, D. Reaching the arms up towards the sky. Okay. Then bring it back. We'll come into tree pose. Tree pose. Opening up the chest. Send it back to warrior three. Drop the left hand down. We're going to revolved half moon. Oh, outer right hip. Hello, outer right hip. How are you doing today, outer right hip? Lower the right hand down, same split. So anterior pelvic tilt now on the right side, right? Because any kind of forward fold is anterior pelvic tilt. So if we pull our anterior pelvic tilt, we're going to get a greater stretch in our outer right glute. Pull the tailbone up towards the sky. Bend the right knee, lower down. You're in a runner's lunge. Go deep. Yeah? Deep, opening up the hips, but not floppy back leg. So energy through that left heel, like you're reaching back. That's going to help you get deeper into your hips. Plant the hands down, step back, high plank. Lower down. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling all the way back up. Your right butt cheek should feel a little bit more open. Hands behind the head, elbows back, posterior pelvic tilt. Sternum reaches up towards the sky. Squeeze, press the pelvis forward, 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 and lift, and lift, and lift. So this is your low trap mid-back muscle. So low trap equals mid-back. So the mid-back muscles are working to push you full up towards the sky. Slowly neutralize through the spine and close the pose. Where's my water? Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, high plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog, anti-shrug. Tuck the toes, press it back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Back to runner's lunge. Pressing the left knee forward, right heel back. Strong, straight back leg. Come on up, crescent lunge. Oh. So I can feel that this side is tight, like this whole psoas, super tight. Oof. Press the back heel forward. Crescent lunge. Posterior pelvic tilt. Exhale, sternum goes up towards the sky. Posterior pelvic tilt. How can you press your sternum up towards the sky? Send the left knee forward. We're going to fly into warrior 3. Flexing through the toes. Slowly pull your belly in, draw your right knee into the chest. Root into the left toes into the ground to find stability. Anti-shrug. Right hand clasp the right shin bone. Really use your obliques to pull your right knee into the chest. Posterior pelvic tilt tosses the left arm back as you lift the sternum even more into a back bend. 3, 2, 1. Neutralize the spine. Extend the right leg forward. Hasta Padangusthasana D. Can you lift the right leg up higher? 3, 2, 1. Tree pose. Tree pose. Maybe use the back of the right hand to open up your right thigh even more. And you send the right leg back into warrior 3. Pull the belly in. Shine splash down. Right down, revolve to half moon. Revolve to half moon. Really get into that left outer glute, left butt cheek. The glute med. Lower the left hand down. Standing split. So standing split, we don't want to open up our right hip to the side. We want to shine our right hip bone. Shine the flashlight down. Anterior pelvic tilt on the left side. And then lift the right leg up as high as you can. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down into a runner's lunge. Oof. Oof. Remember, strong back leg. Strong back leg. You're going to feel your right quad fly up. Plant the hands down, step back, high plank. Here, vinyasa. Anti-shrug, posterior pelvic tilt. Press into the heel of the hands. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Whew. Now you can open up the hips to the side. Right now we're opening up the hip flexor psoas muscle. When I send my left foot behind me, so that's to the right side of the mat, I'm going to get a deeper opening in my left hip flexor. Left foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Anterior pelvic tilt here, anterior pelvic tilt. Remember, anytime you're in a forward fold, anterior pelvic tilt, you're still getting the mid-back / low trap muscles. Right, so those muscles pull your shoulder blades down. So see when we're here and we're in a forward fold, if I hunch over, my shoulder blades are detached. Therefore, I cannot use my serratus anterior muscles to do anything. If I anti-shrug, right, that means I engage my low trap mid-back muscles. My shoulders are pulled away from my ears and towards the tailbone. I have much better engagement. That immediately puts me into a really nice anterior pelvic tilt. And now I can reach my sternum and heart forward towards the toes. Now inhale, slowly rolling up. Inhale, arms up, hands behind the head. Press the elbows back. pelvis forward, lifting the sternum up towards the sky. And close the pose. Now, do you all have a wall that's easily accessible? So we'll do that. We're going to come to, I think you guys have a wall. So we're just going to do that same thing. Oh, there goes my head. We're going to do that same thing. We're going to do that same thing that we did, but with a wall in front of us. Yeah, so I'm like about half a foot away from the wall. And we're going to do that same thing, but now our pelvis has something to press against. So this is like a lot of the times that we do wall work, right? Where we take all of our warrior 1, 2, 3, etc., and then we have wall, you know, to have closed chain so we know what to press against. So we're going to do the exact same thing. My feet are hips width distance apart. I'm pressing my pelvis forward. I'm in my posterior pelvic tilt. Your hands can be on your hips or behind you. Roll the shoulders back and down. I'm doing that same thing. Posterior pelvic tilt. I'm trying to reach my sternum away from the wall and up towards the sky. I have my pelvis to press against the wall as I lift my sternum up towards the sky, posterior pelvic tilt, and see if you can get further. Strong, straight legs. Strong, straight legs for 3, 2, 1, and then come back to neutral. Just ensure that your low back is protected. So if you don't do that posterior pelvic tilt, then you can potentially pinch your low back. It hurts my back if I don't use posterior pelvic tilt. Like it starts getting pinchy in my low back and my SI joint. But this way, your pelvis has something, so we can try again. Our pelvis has something to press against for feedback, right? So it's my low pelvis pressing forward. My legs are straight. I'm not leaning. And I'm trying to posterior pelvic tilt, tuck my tailbone, and then reach the sternum up towards the sky and away. It's up and away, 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 up and away. And release. I think the first time I did this was last night. So I took a recording of Jonathan's class last night because my body was just so not in a movable place. I had to do something. It's like getting that like medicine, right? It's like my body doesn't feel good. Right, and a lot of times, you know, when your body doesn't feel good, we go straight to, you know, Tylenol, Motrin, ibuprofen. But like yoga is the medicine for our bodies for that lubrication. You can't go get an oil change for your body, so you just come to yoga. Okay, one more time. So I can tell you right now, between last night when I did this and this morning, I can get a whole lot further. Just doing that little bit last night. All right, one more time. Pelvis, getting that feedback. Roll the shoulders back and down. Posterior pelvic tilt. Lift. The sternum lifts up towards the sky, lift up and back, posterior pelvic tilt. And slowly come on up. Oh, that felt way better than I did last night. All right, just shake it out. I'm just gonna grab some water real quick. Okay. Come to the top of the mat. I need your strap. So we're gonna take the strap. We're gonna do forward fold with straight arms by overhead. So inhaling, having the strap slightly wider than either shoulders width distance. Yeah, this is like basically shoulders width distance. This is shoulder width distance, a little bit like basically where your arms naturally fall next to your side. That's the distance that you want. So you got your strap. Top mat. Inhaling. Arms up towards the sky with your strap. Anti-shrug. See, when we lift our arms, it's very easy for us not to shrug, right? So anti-shrug. And then forward fold all the way down with the strap. Anterior pelvic tilt. Anti-shrug and pull on the strap. Anti-shrug and pull on the strap. We're going to keep this anterior pelvic tilt and the engagement of the mid-back muscles as we lift our arms. So we want to, the most important thing is you're not shrugging, you're an anti-shrug, you're using those muscles, and they're going to require more movement as you come halfway up. So you're going to flat back halfway up, but your low back muscles are still engaged. It's very easy to lose that engagement by shrugging. Exhale, forward fold. right? So if we just hang and not do anything, you can actually feel, right, the shoulders are shrugging because we're letting gravity pull down on us. So we need to anti-shrug, right? So glue our shoulder blades down our back, the serratus turns on, the low trap muscles turn on. And then if you're in the anterior pelvic tilt, you raise the arms to your ears and then you lift the whole torso. But you got to keep them, like right here, my low traps are firing and they are burning and it's getting tiring. Right about here, my whole mid back was lit up. And then fold and release. Okay, anti-shrug one more time. Engage those trap muscles. Keep your serratus down, drawing down, drawing down, drawing down. And you're going to lift your whole torso up, but you're still keeping your trap muscles engaged. And release. Oh my goodness. Inhaling halfway up. So remember, this halfway up normally is the same thing. Those muscles, instead of just like halfway up, oh, it's no big deal. No, like engage, no anti-shrug muscles. Halfway up. Oh, those muscles are firing. Press it down, step it back, high plank, lower down. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back down, we're facing up. This is the same position that we were in, right? That halfway up position, this is down dog, right? So your upper back muscles should be super lit up and turned and activated. So see if you can get used to those muscles in your down dog. My down dog feels a whole lot more tiring now. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky, swing away forward, runner's lunge. Drop the back heel down, warrior one. Inhale. Whew, warrior one. Right hip back, left hip forward. Square the hips. Right knee forward. Whew. Can you use those anti-shrug muscles? So your mid back should be way engaged today. Windmill the hands down. One-legged down dog. Lower down. Left leg comes up towards the sky. Can you use those anti-shrug muscles as you transition? So nowhere do we shrug. We're always having our low back muscles engaged. Inhale. The whole time. Warrior one. And then when you come down, can you keep those muscles engaged? Right? Not let it relax. So they're engaged the whole time. So even when we come down for vinyasa and we come up for up dog, those anti-shrug muscles are on the whole time. Right leg up towards the sky. Keep those anti-shrug muscles engaged. As you bring your legs through, can you keep them engaged? Warrior one, drop the back heel down. The anti-shrug muscles, keeping them engaged. Warrior one. Windmill the hands down, though you're still engaged. Still engaged, nothing changes. Nothing changes. Lower down, inhaling, up dog. Tuck the toes, down dog. Those muscles are still on. Those muscles are still on. Inhale, left leg comes up towards the sky, still on. As you come forward into warrior one, are they still on? Drop the back heel down, inhaling, coming up. The anti-shrug muscles are still on. Windmill the hands down. Step it back into high plank. Lower down, inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. The anti-shrug muscles are on this whole time. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky, swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Are those muscles still on? Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Still on. Take your strap. Anterior pelvic tilt. Take your strap in your hands. We're going to come up for halfway lift, right? But keeping those muscles on. So the arms come up towards the ears, it catches up with the ears, and then the whole torso comes halfway up. But those anti-shrug muscles, low trap muscles are still on. Forward fold. We're going to get three rounds. Inhale, halfway up, nice and slow. Keep those trap muscles and serratus on. Last one. So anti-shrug, tennis balls, and lift. Whew. I felt my serratus that time. Holy goodness. Whew. I felt like my rib cage was on fire. Inhaling all the way back up. Putting arms up towards the sky. And close the pose. These are the muscles that you need to use for the posture, right? We always talk about, oh, how do you remember to sit or stand with good posture? Well, you need to have the muscles there and the strength to do it. Should be easier now because those muscles know how to turn on. They do. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. It should be more natural that your body just knows to turn those on. Step it back, high plank. Lower down. Those muscles are still on. Press it back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, lunge. We're coming into warrior two. Those muscles are still on, especially in warrior two. So how can we get those muscles on? Right, draw the shoulder blades down your back, like you're putting something in your back pockets. Those muscles are gonna put your shoulder blades in your back pockets. Get you to stand up a little bit taller, right knee goes forward, left thigh internally rotated. Reverse warrior, those muscles are still on. You're still engaging. And come back into warrior two, side angle. Those muscles are still on. Nothing changes. Those muscles are always on, no matter what we do. Forward fold, back bend, side poses, always on. Inhaling, revert warrior two, pass through to reverse warrior. Warrior two to a deeper side angle. Place our hand down. We're either going to do a supported side plank, or if it's available to you, lift your right foot off the mat, right leg into a tuck with the knee going into the right tricep. So here, so it's a side plank variation here. Those muscles on, low trap muscles. Flip, left hand down, side plank on the other side. In tree, or not, or supported. You can put your foot here if you need to. Are your trap muscles on? Is that anti-shrug muscle on? Are you pulling your left heel of the hand towards your left foot? Now take wild thing or waterfall, step it behind you and lift. Lift. Lift the quads up towards the sky. I mean hips too, but hips and quads. Hips and quads. Are your anti-shrug muscles on? For 3, 2, 1, flip. One-legged down dog. With anti-shrug muscles on, lower the right foot down, take your vinyasa. Inhaling up dog. Exhale down dog. And then lower down to child's pose. Water. Okay. Come back up into all fours. Whew. Touch the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog. Yoga is medicine for your body, right? When we don't feel good, I'm always like, I need a Motrin. I need a Benadryl. I need a Tylenol. But this, like, yoga is just like medicine for your body, except for it's preventative, right? It's prophylactic. Is it prophylactic? Is that what it's called? It's preventative. And it's also, you know, when your body is like stiff, it's also great for treating that as well. A little dose of yoga. A little dose of yoga. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Ooh, I can feel my left hip is so much more open than this whole week. Left foot in between the hands. Runner's lunge. We're coming up for warrior two. Drop the back heel down. Inhaling. So you guys are good medicine for me. Yeah. Warrior two. Anti-shrug muscles are on. Left knee is, this thigh is as close to parallel to the floor as we can get. We're stomping onto our left foot to use our left hamstring. Anti-shrug muscles are on. We're squeezing tennis balls for 3. Left thigh is turned in. So in Jonathan's classes, we hold warrior two for 2 minutes. It's like, what? I'm like, excuse me? What do you want us to do? Oh, with one foot on a slidey thing. Reverse warrior. Reverse warrior with your low trap muscles on, your anti-shrug muscles on. So your anti-shrug muscles are on this whole time. Nothing changes. It's the same thing. To make it super simple, back to warrior two, pass through, side angle. Side angle. Remember, we don't want to just dump our weight down. We want to lift, engage our anti-shrug muscles. Right, it's very easy to just disconnect here, but we want to engage our anti-shrug muscles. Send the right knee forward, twist, twist, twist. Come into warrior two. And we're going to do reverse warrior, anti-shrug. Back leg, use your back leg. I know your left foot is tired. The front leg is tired. You need to get your right leg, your back leg to help you. So spread some of the weight, spread some of the responsibility, 50-50. Pass through warrior two, a deeper side angle, a deeper side angle. Supported side plank, side plank variation, left hand down. Left hand down. Left knee to left tricep. Left heel presses into the mat. For 4, 3, 2, 1, flip it. Anti-shrug muscles on. Right heel of the hand pulling down towards your right foot. For 4, 3, 2, and 1, waterfall. Thighs and hips up towards the sky. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, flip it. One-legged down dog. Lower the right, left leg down, vinyasa. Lower down, inhaling. Up dog, posture, pelvic tilt. Anti-shrug muscles on. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Keeping those anti-shrug muscles on. Lower the knees down and sit it back, child's pose. So basically, we spent a lot of time today just like working our way down our spine. Right, we're kind of putting our spine in different positions. We're doing back bends, we're doing forward folds. We're doing a lot of outer glute. So we move there's like 6 dimensions of movement, right? 6 dimensions. Like, for example, the ball and socket joint, the hip joint. And coming up to kneeling, there's like forward and back, right? That gets the, like, lunge, gets the psoas, and then basically you have psoas and you have hamstrings, that's forward and back. You have rotation, right? Internal rotation, external rotation, and then abduction and adduction. You know how a teacher taught me how to remember it? If you get abducted by aliens, you go away. And that is literally, like, someone told me, my teacher told me that, one of my anatomy and physiology teachers taught me that, I don't know, 15 years ago, and that's the only thing, that is the only way that I keep straight what abduction is and adduction. Because I wish I was doing adduction, like you're adding things together. Never stuck. Abduction, abducted by aliens. Abduction is when you're, when you move out. So it's like when you're abducted by aliens, you go that way. So abduction, adduction, forward, back, internal, external rotation. Those are the 6 dimensions of movement. A lot of times in our class, we'll just focus on like one of those dimensions or 2 of those dimensions that open up. So what we haven't done today is we haven't done a lot of twists to open up our spine, like wringing out a towel. Come to all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Feel how your body feels right now. How much more open? It feels way more open for me today. Right foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Ooh, anterior pelvic tilt feels so good. My anti-shrug muscles are on. I'm lifting halfway up with my anti-shrug muscles on. And then I forward fold and I keep them on. And then I roll all the way back up and they are on to help me stack my spine all the way to the top. Inhale. Exhale, chair pose. So when I lift up my arms for chair pose, guess which muscles are on? My anti-shrug muscles are on. And take the twist. Still on. Oh. Oof. Yeah. The twisty muscles have not awoken yet. So that's a lot of your obliques. Right? An asymmetrical side. Oh. Whew. That's a different dimension. Right? Because things feel a little easier for the hips. The twist is something that we haven't really worked on in today's class. So we're going to get a little bit of twisty going on. So chair twist for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Float the left foot off the ground, squeeze, shoot it back. You're still on one leg. You're going to lower it down for revolved crescent. Get deeper. So you don't want to dump your tummy down onto your leg. You want to lift and twist your belly button away from your thigh. Away from your thigh, away from your thigh. Right? Maybe take the half bind or not. Inhale, come on up. You're still in a twisted position. And we're going to roll right into revolved half moon. Ready? Revolved half moon. Left hand down. We've been here before. Look. We're in a runner's lunge twist. Now we're just going to float to revolved half moon. So the first time we did this, we got into the glute, right? Because our glute wasn't ready yet. But now we can get deeper because our glute's more open. And so where's the restriction going to be? Probably a little bit higher into your, what connects into your pelvis, right? And then we're going to land to the revolved triangle. If you need a block, you can grab a block into revolved triangle. Whew. So the block is underneath your shoulder, both legs straight and twist. Yeah. Oh. Oh, this feels good. Bring it out. So I can feel the opening or the stretch all the way from my toes to my outer right leg to my right hip. I'm lengthening through my left rib cage. And I'm still, right, anti-shrug muscles. Get them deeper. Maybe put the hand on the head, press the elbow back. And release. We're going to go into wide-legged forward fold. I'll flip around so you can see. Wide-legged forward fold, toes in, heels out. Whew, grab your block. We're in wide-legged forward fold. Anterior pelvic tilt. Right, this is your same. Anterior pelvic tilt. Posterior pelvic. Oh no, wait. This is the anterior pelvic tilt. Sorry, anterior pelvic tilt. Anti-shrug muscles are on. Anti-shrug muscles are on. Grab your block. We're going to take the arms overhead just like we did with a forward fold. So I'm going to take the arms. Instantly when I do this, I'm already shrugging. No shrugging. So I got an anti-shrug, turn on my serratus, and then slowly lift to halfway, flat back. But my back muscles are on. Believe me, they're on. My serratus is on. Because in order to anti-shrug, those have to be on. And then slowly come on down, keeping that engagement. Shift the weight to the balls of the feet. So it's really easy to send our weight to the heels. So balls of the feet and squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. And we're anti-shrugging. And so lift halfway up, anti-shrug muscles. There is a muscle turning on in my ribcage that I didn't know I had. Because I feel them working. They're working. I think those are the serratus ones right here. I can feel them in front of my ribcage. And I'm like, what are those muscles? Okay. Wide-legged forward fold twist. Right hand down. Oh wait, no, left hand down. Twisty, twisty. Oh. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, transverse lunge. And then we're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold and twist deeper to the right. Transverse lunge, bend the left knee. And then we're gonna crawl our hands and twist deeper towards the right. Maybe you find your your right ankle. So hang on to the left or the right calf, bend the left knee. You can get deeper hamstring opening on the hamstring and a little twisty in the low back. And then you're going to twist even deeper as you straighten out both legs. And then repeat. Bend the left knee. And then twist deeper. Twist deeper, twist deeper, twist deeper. And then bend the left knee. And final twist deeper. Reach the right hand overhead. And reach the right hand overhead and crawl towards the left ankle. Where you twist. Whew. Come back to center. Bend the knees, wide squat. Anterior pelvic tilt. Keep the anterior pelvic tilt and the anti-shrug muscles engaged. And then straighten out both legs. And slowly stack and come on up. Whew. Triangle pose. Turn the right toes towards the front of the mat and triangle pose. Anti-shrug muscles are on. Especially this one. The bottom one, really easy to just kind of like loosey-goosey hang. Anti-shrug that lifts. So when you anti-shrug, when you turn on your low trap muscles, instantly you get this lift, right? And then with that engaged, with that lift, then bring the whole torso down. So you want to keep the engagement and then bring the whole torso down. Yeah, like that. Yeah, way more engaged. Those muscles are on. See how I can stack the triangle now like on the back of a plane of glass, like 2-dimension? Yeah, those muscles. Those muscles. All right. Then tuck. Just come to lizard. Forearms down. Forearms down. Ooh. Come to the outside edge of your right foot and just let your right hip just open. So this is kind of getting to the inner thigh. Right, we did a lot of outer hip. Now we got to do some more for the inner thigh. Okay, tuck your right shoulder underneath your right knee for Kundinasana 2. But what we're doing different today is what is the anti-shrug muscles. So it's so easy to shrug. So we're going to anti-shrug and fly ourselves into warrior two. Kundanyasana 2 with a baby cobra. So think upper back, anti-shrug baby cobra into your Kundanyasana. Like someone who has never taken your class, they're gonna be like, those words don't make sense when you put them all together, but I know you understand what I mean, right? So tuck, anti-shrug, baby cobra, then go forward. And notice how your Kundanyasana might be different. So a lot of preparation into that. Because a lot of times when we just kind of go into Kundanyasana 2, we're already shrugged and we're trying to dive forward, and we can balance because this is a balance pose, not a strength pose. However, if the next step is the transitions, right? So, you know, can you transition from Kundanyasana 2 to fallen angel to crow, right? That's a whole different thing. And you can't muscle your way through it. You have to, well, you have to be smart about how you're using your muscles. So I definitely feel my Kundanyasana 2, like I'm a lot higher up on my tricep than before. Meaning it used to be that this part of my leg was on my tricep, and now I can actually get deeper. So my upper hamstring is actually on my leg. So I have somewhat of a shot of maybe one day transitioning pro. Okay, let's come back in down dog. I have no idea how we started this sequence. So let's do the other side. Oh yeah, we started with chair twist. Okay, down dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. So much more room today on the right side, right foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. Ooh, feel a lot more space in the hip flexors. So as back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Anti-shrug muscles are on. Inhaling halfway up, fold deeper. Anti-shrug muscles still on. Inhaling all the way back up. And close the pose, and we just gotta do the other side. Okay, chair pose. Chair pose twist. Inhale. Anti-shrug muscles are on as you bring your arms up to overhead. Chair pose. Anti-shrug muscles are on. Posterior pelvic tilt. Take the twist. Take the twist. You know, just like 5-7 minutes of twisting a day makes a huge difference to your low back and to your spinal health. Oh. Pry the arms apart for 4, 3, 2, 1. Look down your toes. Pop the right foot off the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs, knees together, shoot it back. Still standing on one leg. Lower the leg down, crescent lunge twist. We're getting a full body tune-up today. Ooh. Inhale, coming up. Crescent lunge twist. Keep reaching back, strong back leg. Left knee forward, torso upright. Half moon, revolved half moon. Ready? Revolved half moon. Notice where do you feel the restriction? Different than the first time we did this today. It could be higher up. And then when it comes into revolved half moon, or no, sorry, revolved triangle. Revolved triangle. Right hand underneath the right shoulder. Triangle. Revolved triangle. Oh. Can you find your anti-shrug muscles? Does that make it feel different? Does anyone remember what we go through from here? Oh, wide-legged forward fold. Okay, lower the left hand down. Come into wide-legged forward fold and one flip around. Okay, anterior pelvic tilt, anti-shrug muscles. So can you get deeper in your forward fold now? And your anti-shrug muscles are on. I bet you if you tried to do like, I don't know, straddle press handstand or something, I bet you it'd be easier today. I don't have my bolster. It's in California. Twist, right hand down. Left arm goes up towards the sky. Anti-shrug muscles are on. Oh, I'm definitely feeling deeper into my muscles being on. Transverse lunge, bend the right knee. Left leg straight. Straighten out both legs and twist deeper. Oh. Transverse lunge, bend the right knee. Can you go deeper in your transverse lunge? Oh yeah. And then twist deeper. So even though like 10 days of not doing yoga, yes, my body feels stiffer and then trying to get back to the swing of things, but you haven't like lost like, all the progress that you made, right? Like it's much easier, you know, because I'm doing like yoga 3, 4, sometimes 5 days a week, depending on workload. You get all that progress and then you stop for 10 days and you kind of slide a little backwards, but like your body remembers where it was. So it's not like you're starting from scratch. And then straighten out both legs and then twist, twist, twist. Find your left ankle. Find your left calf, bend the right knee. You're gonna get deeper into your low back and then twist. Straighten out both legs and twist. Hang on to your left calf, bend the right knee. And then twist. And then reach left arm for the right thigh and twist underneath. So crawl the left fingertips towards your right foot. And you're going to twist underneath. So look underneath your left arm, peekaboo, like a window, and twist. Come to neutral and come up for triangle pose. Triangle pose on the left side, left toes face in front of the mat. Slowly come on up. Anti-shrug muscles are on. Right, shrug down. And then take your triangle and notice. Notice a greater twist and opening. Like I feel like I can smash my back behind to the wall behind me. Reach the right arm overhead. You can get that deep stretch in your psoas. So instead of down, like you're pressing the back of your hand to the wall behind you. Yeah, like that. Lengthen through your left rib cage. Bend the left knee, lizard pose. So come to the inside of the thigh. Oh, this side's tighter. Did we miss something? Did we miss a twist or something? Or is this side just tighter? Ooh, come down on your forearms. And then we're going to prep for Kundalini 2, anti-shrug with a baby cobra. So tuck your left shoulder behind your left knee. I can get a whole lot deeper since we've been working on this the past 6 months. So here we go, Kundalini 2. Anti-shrug first, then baby cobra, then fly into Kundalini 2. So I'm working on Kundalini 2 transition to crow, which I don't understand how to do because it just seems impossible. But keep on keeping on working on it. So Kundalini 2. Remember, anti-shrug first. So it's really easy going to Kundalini 2 with your shoulder shrugged, and that's why it's so much harder. If you anti-shrug and then baby cobra, and then come forward, I think you're in a better spot. Okay. Life would not be complete without benchmarking against crow. Right? That's kind of like our measuring stick, our yardstick. Right? Like, how does our crow feel? Like, that's the thing that's constant through, you know, every practice, and using that as a benchmark. Because I mean, you can benchmark against down dog, but you don't, the feedback isn't there, right? You don't see the minor changes have a big effect. Like whether you turn on certain muscles, down dog is the down dog. But with crow, it's like a more sensitive measuring thing, right? Whether you think about a thermometer or a pH meter or a voltmeter or anything that we're measuring, right? It's more, crow is a more sensitive measuring stick. That is my like word of wisdom today, is that crow is a more sensitive measuring stick, right? Just when you change from posterior to anterior pelvic tilt, you can feel the difference, right? Like you change from anterior to posterior, you face plant. So tiny movements, tiny adjustments, tiny progress you can see and feel in crow. So that's why I'm using crow as that measuring stick. So go ahead and just do plain old vanilla crow today first and see how that feels after we have really focused on communicating our whole body, but also on activating our anti-shrug low trap muscle, which also activates your serratus. So same thing, nothing's changed. Try posterior pelvic tilts, anti-shrug muscles go into crow. Try that a few times. And then try posterior pelvic tilt, anti-shrug muscles. And while you're in crow, can you change it to an anterior pelvic tilt and maintain balance? Right? How do you have to change your balance in order to accommodate? It's a very tiny movement internally, but causes you to either fall forward or fall back. Or so anti-shrug muscles, add the external rotation of your hands, because that turns on anti-shrug plus serratus. And see what happens. So for me, what I felt when I went into an anterior pelvic tilt is I felt like all the light switches for my muscles turned off. Like, it was not all, but like some of the muscles got disconnected. So I felt heavier. So I felt like I couldn't maintain the balance because I didn't have access to like all the different muscles. Like when I flipped to an anterior pelvic switch, like tilt, like a bunch of muscles switched off. So that's, I'm like, okay, now I'm aware of that. How do I address that? Right? I have to like figure out, how do I keep all the muscles on while I switch from a posterior to anterior? So it's just bringing like practice of minute awareness of the minutia, right? But I'm like able, or more able, hopefully, to just kind of come into crow and balance. Which, you know, 6 months ago was impossible for me to take one knee off of crow, right? I was just like, how are you supposed to do that? I don't understand. Is it strength? You know, maybe. I mean, it's a little bit of strength, more strength, but it's also, we're stacking. We're stacking better. So I can definitely tell that time around I didn't have as much anti-shrug happening or external rotation. I could still do it because I was stacked. So like the alignment, right, over time I've seen everybody's hips slowly stack over their wrists, even to myself, you know, looking at myself in the video, I'm like, oh, I'm stacking, and I can go back to all the other videos, like what we did a year ago, and I can see the huge difference just in how we stack, right? So crow is less about strength and more about awareness of stacking and having certain muscles turn on, or teaching or making new neuronal connections to your muscles. Because now, to me, today, crow feels a lot lighter. I feel like, oh, I'm just entering into crow. So where you will also see these muscles play a really key role is in your pike positions. So if you do L stand against the wall with your feet against the wall, we're not going to do it today, but like on a different day when we do L stand, feet against the wall, and you're on, you know, your hands are on the ground and your feet are against the wall and you're in a pike position, you know, it's usually really tiring if you just are using your arm muscles. So I'll do that. Actually, let's all do that. If you have a wall near you and can do L stand, I'm going to attempt to do, let's see, I can use this part, right? So L stand. L stand works on, and we didn't do a lot of work on our front, like these shoulder muscles, the deltoids, but it requires a lot of strength and activation here, plus the combination of our anti-shrug muscles in our mid-back. So that is more of I think L stand is more of a strength training, less of a stacking. Yes, you have to stack, but it's much more a strength issue, right? And just conditioning, strength and conditioning those muscles. So if you did L stand, one of the key things with L stand, so I measure my foot, I put like maybe a little bit extra inch for that, and then I come to the wall and do my squat, right? And then I try to right here, and then you force yourself to turn on the anti-shrug muscles, and this is going to help your do you see I'm not quite at an L? This is not an L at all. This is more like, I don't know where we are. Here, there's more here, I think. Yeah, maybe a little bit further back. Right, oh, I can feel the burning in my mid-back. Right, especially with the video at the profile view, you know, you can kind of see, I kind of see my hands really aren't quite an L. I really need to move them back, and it's really hard. It's super hard. Right, so I need to keep, like if I was there, I would press in between your shoulders. I would push in between your shoulders towards the wall. That is the feeling. So that's what you got to do for yourself with your anti-shrug muscles. Is that so I feel my quads burning. I'm an anterior pelvic tilt. My anti-shrug muscles are on. That's L stand for you. All right. Let's take you back down to the mat. Oh, let's take wide-legged forward fold. Seated Konasana. Let's see if we can get any further. So we did some hip opening. We did a lot of upper back. Really, when you have your upper back on, I feel the difference when I start doing straddle press, like trying to do handstand on the wall. That's when I feel when I work my upper back. Because when then I go into handstand, my upper back muscles are on. Because usually we like don't turn them on, and then we kick up, and then we're just balancing. We're not like using our muscles to support us. We're just balancing. So if you want to, because your muscles are on, you could try a few handstands right after class and see how using that as a yardstick to measure. So wide-legged forward fold and anterior pelvic tilt. See, this is posterior, nothing's on. Anterior pelvic tilt allows me to engage my anti-shrug muscles. And maybe I can get deeper. But my quads are firing. They are on. They are on, they're shaking. And I think if I did like 3 classes in a row, 4 classes in a row, usually I can get a little bit deeper. Oh, here we go. If I use like help with like pulling myself down, I can get deeper. And release. Whew. Okay, bridge, wheel, counter stretch. I did not bring my yoga wheel. It would not fit into the car. Like 75% of the car is like the double stroller, the bike, all the kids stuff, kids toys, kids activities, and like I get this much for my clothes. And my yoga mat and my yoga box, that's it. So bridge pose. Bridge pose to kind of just reset the body. But then like forward folds are your counter stretch, like without your anti-shrug muscles on. So plow pose, if that is okay with your back. Plow pose is like kind of for me. Like it doesn't make my back, it doesn't make my body feel good. Like it just, some things just don't really work. The plow pose, just ensure that your weight is in between the shoulder blades and not in the neck. And so this kind of counter stretches all the movement that we've done. Maybe you come into a tuck, into a ball, and you use rock side to side and roll around. Right, because this is the opposite of everything that we've been doing today. We've done a lot of the back bends. We kind of roll into a ball, massage out your low back. We'll take the twist and a gravity aided assisted twist. And then cross your right over your left and drop the knees over to the right. Allow gravity just kind of open up and twist. So take the arms out into a T. And then come back, switch, and come to the other side. Oh. So if I take my knees closer to my ear, like up here, I find the twist right here in the back where I want it. If my knees are away, it gets more into the abdominal wall. So this really depends where you want to feel the stretch. I like to feel the stretch in my low back, so I bring the knees closer to my arm and take my arm out. And come back to center. Just take happy baby. Anterior pelvic tilt flattens your low back. Maybe you bend and straighten. And then extend the legs out long. Oh. Oof. I can feel in Shavasana, I can feel that like my hips sit a little flatter on the ground. And toss the arms overhead, give yourself a nice big stretch. Take the arms down by your side. And slowly rolling onto your right side. Come and press to seated. Rooting your sit bones into the earth. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Clasping arms down together. Bowing forward. Namaste.